This is it. These athletes have laid it all on the line for the $2 million dream waiting inside AT&T Stadium. It's the conclusion of the semifinals round inside Cowtown Coliseum, and decisions will be made tonight. Who moves on? Who has what it takes to move one step closer to becoming an American champion? We're about to find out.
You know, when the American came to the game, they were doing something that's never been done. They were reinventing the Western sport of rodeo.
She knows all about roping.
Wow. It's so nerve-wracking to watch them and want them to do so good. There's going to be so much smack talking at my house, it's not even funny.
You just got to take it one horse at a time and do your best on each horse you get on, and hopefully it all works out.
Can he do it?
With Lemmy, anything's possible.
Now that's tough luck right there.
This is Rooster, and I won the American in 2019 on him. He is my main man. We're here to try and win it again this year.
Oh, man.
Madison knows that she'd like to have that one back.
She watched her dad, Bobby Moe, go to 5 world championships.
And she's just loving it for sure.
Newman knows what he has to do. That one goes to the lead.
Next year I want a little revenge.
What a run for Mitchell.
Those performance runs are so much fun, and you got the crowd pumping, and you know you got to go out there and be fast. There's no one else I'd rather be doing it with.
It's a dream to do it with her.
I've got to run at the barrier and be 3 if I want to win $2 million, and that's the only reason why I'm here.
It's not bad for the Sunday jackpot, I guarantee it.
That's what I'm doing!
Outlaw can't be stopped.
The biggest one is the one you would like to do best at.
It's the 9th edition of the American Rodeo, but the first time $2 million plus up for grabs comes Sunday. To get there, you have to advance through the semifinals, through the contender round, and we'll get some answers tonight. Who is moving on to Friday night and making themselves just even one step closer to that American multi-million-dollar dream? Great to have you back here with us alongside this guy, 2-time PBR world champ Justin McBride, 5-time world champ Luke Branquino. I'm Kate Harrison. Now, as we wrap up the semifinals, new field of athletes coming in tonight, and some of the events, rough stock, a bit different, and we'll get there. But what everyone knows, they know the cut line. They know what they have to do. How much is that going to play into what we see in the arena tonight?
Oh, it's going to be huge because they know when they back in the box the exact time they have to be. But you can't have that in the back of your head. You got to go get the start, make the run you need to make to move on. You know, you can put too much thought into this, and I see these guys, there's going to be a couple of them, they may try to do that.
I mentioned rough stock. We're going to see their own short round tonight in a sense, and you mentioned it, the power of the horses we see, it's going to be a step up.
Yeah, and look, the top 6 are going to move on into that contender round, and the competition's been stepping up from the rider standpoint as we've moved through this thing. Tonight, the horsepower steps up. A great pin of bulls also going to be out tonight. It's going to be great to watch.
It's a Thursday night inside Cowtown Coliseum, and you can feel the energy in here. Will these guys take advantage of that? Here's the ones to watch.
Yeah, you have Kincaid Henry here. He's just got a new horse this year and has been on fire. He's got 2 chances tonight to get above that cut line. Only one of his chances will move on if he does qualify. Bridger Anderson came in the aggregate on to number 1. He has a stronger steer tonight. He's going to have to get the start and make the run that he's been capable of making his whole career.
No doubt about it. And then we take a look at Colby Wanchuk. He's looked great getting to this point so far. Got a real shot to move on. And JRV, what can you say about that guy? He's awesome every single time. But this guy right here in the bronc ride, Sage Newman, you seen what he got done last night. You can't ride a bronc any better than what he did there, Luke.
No, that was a great ride right there. And then, what are we talking about in the bull riding? This young kid, Laramie Mosley, an outstanding ride here. Jump for jump, and Justin, watching you in your career, you were fluid with these bulls, and that's what this kid did right here. 88 points. Carrying that momentum in tonight is going to be huge.
Speaking of momentum, we have some athletes who are in the field twice. 5-time NFR qualifier Joseph Harrison is one of those. He was successful a night ago inside this arena. Can he do it again here? Harrison standing by with the 4th member of our broadcast team, Anthony Lucia.
2020 was a year that started out really good for Joseph Harrison as he was the 2020 American champion, and it was a luck partnership, a chance partnership with Luke Brown.
It was. Luke and I just got paired together, and sure enough worked out good.
But who we're going to watch Joseph compete with tonight is Bubba Bucklew, and that is a partnership that's really been developing over the last 20 years.
Yes, sir. Buck and I have been good friends for a long time. We've roped for a long, 20 years, since I was 15 and he was 14, so to rope for this kind of money together is pretty sweet.
It would be a sweet opportunity and a special opportunity. Could you put into words, can you even wrap your head around the possibility of winning $2 million with one of your best friends?
Well, people say this is the kind of stuff you dream about, but coming from where we come from with the money that we've had to deal with our whole life, you don't even dream about roping for that kind of money.
The American truly is an event that can turn your dreams into reality.
Thursday night inside Cowtown Coliseum. The fans are here. The stage is set. Let's rodeo, boys. Tie-down roping presented by Preferred. That's where we will start. Again, as we wrap up the semis, to make it to the contender round in this event, you have to be the top 6 on 3. This is their third that we're seeing here as Kincaid Henry gets it started right out of the gate.
Yeah, and right here, Kincaid got it on that calf fast, kind of misstrings him a little bit. Calf doesn't hit the end of the rope like he wants him to and sitting back on it. This was supposed to be the best calf he had drawn. He has 2 chances tonight. And, you know, we're about to bury right there, and he breaks it. Good chance right here for Kincaid, but now he's going to have to come back on his second run, Justin, and this calf they have not caught.
Yeah, and look, this is the kid you started off the show talking about in the opening. And look, I'm not counting him out. He's still got that other shot, and he has had a brilliant start to his career so far.
Henry, we will see him again, currently 5th in the world standings. Bryce Derrier coming in 16.35 on 2. Right now, that time to beat Stetson Vest has its 26 on 3. Long reach here. 4 slams on the brakes. Calf's down. Gonna slow him down a bit here. Flank some quick hands will do the job. But
yeah.
Will it be enough?
Wow, talk about that calf squirting compared to the calf Kincaid Henry just ran.
Yeah, and I'm just so impressed when we watch this back, the reach, the range that he's got. But then, Luke, it does kind of set things up to not go as well after that, doesn't it?
It does. Right there, he was getting down the rope and didn't get that calf spun around, kept on his feet. And when you get to him, that's just time on the clock to get him back up because you have to get him cleared before you can flank him and tie him.
It's going to be a 9.78 for Bryce. That's going to be just outside what he needs. That puts him in a 26.13 on 3. The cutoff was 26 flat. Now for Garrett Jacobs, all it takes is a 9.42 to be setting well within that top 6. Is this the time for Jacobs?
You know, and right here, another good calf, but they have to make sure they see the start, know if your calf's going to leave. These calves got, you know, roped a couple days ago, or they know what these calves are. So know the start, take the start, and trust in what you got, what got you here.
Jacobs in 2021 advanced to the round of 8 at the American. Can you advance more here? Man, that calf ran right through the loop. It's going to be a no time for Jacobs.
You know, talking about the try, he kept riding his horse back and forth. The calf wasn't quite set like he wanted in the box. Just like shoe procedure anywhere, you don't want to spend as much time as you want to spend as little amount of time in there as you can, and then just couldn't get that loop around that calf's neck.
So Jacobs won't be coming back to live another day. Here's the cut line. Now you see Trevor Hill on there twice. You can only advance once. So that cut line will be moving down. We'll see how it all shakes out, but you gotta be in the top 6. Pecos Tatum.
Man, these calves are squirting right there the last few, and Pecos got a decent start. Calf took off and had to use his long rope right there to get him caught, and I don't know if that's going to be fast enough to move him on.
You know, and that's what we're seeing. They're either breaking out and on top of him, or they're getting out running and really having to reach.
Yeah, and right there you did see that barrier pull in front of his horse's chest. He never got up against it. That's going to get you down the arena a little bit further than you want. And like we talked about, the further you go down in this little pin, things don't happen quite as smooth at the back end.
Just 16 years old. Tatum, the young gun, it's a 10.76. That places him 14th overall, but to do that at 16 years old, Anthony, can you believe what you're seeing? Yes, he does. We're going to move on here to Tyler Calhoun. Let's send it down to Anthony.
Yeah, you just watched the young man, Pecos, that is 16, and Kate, as you mentioned, this is a 15-year-old. He doesn't look it, but mentally he is aged beyond his years. When it comes to maturity, he's got it all. Athletic ability, he can do it. We watched him in the preliminary rounds earn his way back in. He is 3rd overall. Smooth and solid, but I'm pretty sure the start is going to hurt him like it's hurt our other competitors.
Calhoun has to be a 10 flat to move on. Can Calhoun do it? 8 flat, guys. Oh.
He got the barrier right there.
Penalty.
But what about that run for that 15-year-old kid?
Man.
He actually tried to make sure he seen that calf, score him out there just right, but just broke the barrier. But that was a big-time run. See those gates open? He's not going before that calf, does. Calf just didn't leave quite as sharp, but big-time run for such a young cowboy. Unfortunately, he got the barrier.
Yeah, because once he got it on him, he ran through him, boy. That was good watching.
It was just perhaps a couple hundredths of a second of a difference right there for Calhoun. We will not see that young gun again this year, but there's many more to come. Hudson Wallace has to be a 9.16 or better to move into the top 6 right here. Wallace attempting to make his first American Finals. Clean around the neck, calf standing for him. Gotta be smooth here. Can you be that 9? Wallace, waste no time here. Oh, but he got the penalty. That one was close. I didn't see that one right away, Luke. 18-26.
Wow, you want to talk about scoring. They're having some tough luck tonight at that barrier. They're either into it and breaking it, or they're late. And that calf, they're just getting off there a little too soon. And these boxes are so short, Justin, you don't have a lot of time to pick up and throttle your horse. If you get off the corner too soon, it's almost guaranteed plus 10.
It's Chance Thiessen who's sitting up there in that number 1 spot. You see the cut line, 25-71. That's 25-71 on 3. That means for a guy like Carson Sundvesen that comes in a bit longer, he's got to be quick here, guys. 7.47 to move on to that contender round tomorrow night.
We just seen Tanner Green on that bottom of the cut line, number 6, but really he has 2 shots because if Hale Boy comes in, he only gets 1 spot, so they're going to roll down to number 7. So really he can get by 2 guys right here.
19 years old. Sundvesen start to see the finish line after this one. Got to get out clean. Couple swings starting good here, guys. Calf's down, going to slow him down. Can he make up the time? Not looking like it here.
Yeah, and it starts from your horse. You have to control that slack. A good sharp neck loop right here, and then hang on to it and get that calf spun around. He let that calf hit the end too much, got him on his side, and time just keeps ticking by the time you get him back to their feet.
10-73 for Sundvesen. Deep breath for him there. He'll have to wait and see. We saw Kincaid Henry earlier in the round tonight. That one broke the barrier. Can he be clean here? He made it back twice. All he needs is 1. In this one, 8-43 or better to be top 6. Let's send it to Anthony.
Kincaid Henry's first calf that he had was actually the better of the 2. This second opportunity, it is his final opportunity, but this is where he is going to show himself as a true contender. Gets him up, gets him down. String the front, squeeze, tie, and that is an amazing run.
Henry needed to be at 8-43. He was at 8-74, guys. Not even half a second between him and moving on to that $2 million there, just out of it.
Yeah, it's some tough luck. And that was a great run on a calf they haven't tied fast or at all this week. The only thing, he missed the barrier a little bit, and then that calf was on his side on the ground. He had to get him cleared. See right there, that cost him at least a half a second, Justin.
Yeah, I've been so impressed with this young man, and like I said, the start to his career, we're going to see a lot more out of him.
So Thursday night, conclusion of the semifinals here at the American Rodeo. 3 left in the tie-down roping as we move to Keed Williams, attempting to make his first American Finals. He has to do it in 8:33 or less. Oh, calf slipped out of the loop. Then Williams goes down. Won't be winning it tonight for Williams.
Yeah, and we're going to see it right here. Watch the start. Good start. The barrier hits his horse's chest, but just couldn't get that curl back around. Not a sharp loop right there. And he was trying to go for it.
Hey, I know how that kind of get off feels right there.
I'm glad that they got the groundwork and it's nice and soft, top of the ground, hitting it right there in the, you know, in the calf rope, and keeps these guys from getting injured too bad, Justin.
2 left. We haven't seen that cut line move very much, which means if it stays like it is, Trevor Hale can't cut back twice. We'll move down to that 7th spot in Stetson Vest. Ryan Bellew hopes to shake something up here. Has to be at 8 and 83 or better to punch his ticket to that next round. Bellew.
Good start right there. Got on that, calf's on his feet, tried to run around him. He did a good job blocking him off. Calf's pushing on him, wrapping a hootie right there. Oh my goodness.
My
wow.
goodness. Bellew had to be at 8 and 83. Looks at the clock, 8.86. 3/100ths of a second away from that American dream continuing.
But he is number 7 right now? Because
he is number.
Yeah, Trevor Hale has 2 spots, so he still might have a legitimate chance of qualifying on.
You're right. He is saved by Hale. By how well Hale performed, it keeps him in that spot. Branquinho with the brains in the booth.
Nobody's as surprised as me.
Yeah, but we got to get by Bo Pickett right here, guys. This kid's a hand. See what his calf got. Missed the barrier a little bit, but that calf's not running as much as some of them missing the barrier. Gets to him, he's on his feet. See if Bo can get him tight. Oh, that horse is overworking a little bit too much. Legs aren't stacked and going to be too long anyway.
Oh, Bo Pickett did not punch his ticket to Friday with that 9.3. Here's a look at the standings. Trevor Hale has 2 spots there. You can only advance once to the contender round. What that does, drops our cut line to number 7 as Branquinho. So perfectly pointed out, Ryan Bellew is in. He is not below the cut line. Bellew is above it. That 25.74 is just going to slide him in. Did just what he needed to right here. And Ryan Bellew is standing by with our very own Anthony Lucia inside the arena.
Ryan Bellew, 3/100ths of a second. It appeared that you weren't going to get in, but because of Trevor Hale having 2 spots, was there so much disappointment, or did you know that you were in?
I just let kind of it all play out. You can only do so much as far as a run and what the calf will give to you. So just seen what happened and went from there.
Now knowing that you have the opportunity to move 1 step closer to that $2 million, can you quantify the emotions, the relief, the excitement that you're feeling?
Just go at another one. We'll see what happens.
He's keeping it simple, guys, and that is what makes him a true contender.
Well, Bellew goes beyond and will be there for Friday. From Super Bowl champions to NFL All-Stars and high school standouts. The depth of talent is here at the historic Cowtown Coliseum on a Thursday night. Can that talent translate to success in the arena? Time to let it fly. From the roping chutes to the bucking chutes we go. It's the bareback riding presented by JCB. And we're getting right to it. Zachariah Phillips. He was 80.5 earlier in the week. Can he beat that here? He'll need to. Phillips.
Really good horse right here to start it off with, guys. Hard way to land. Tequila talking of Bridwell. These are the kind of horses we're talking about. You're going to start seeing it. Look, Phillips needed to be a lot. He come in one of the lower scores, making it back to this point. He had the horse to do it on, but when you have that kind of horse, little mistakes and you're going to pay a price for it.
Well, balance makes such a big difference. Looked like he got tipped into his hand, got a little stiff on that side, never could keep the rhythm with his feet going.
Phillips had his eye on the prize. Tough landing there for him. As he makes out the arena, it's going to be a 72. It's a 2-head aggregate and all the rough stock. Top 6 coming back. Tanner Oz has a chance to ace this one.
Tanner Oz has got a chance to do a lot of good stuff with this matchup right here. Spanish Onion of Corcos not having a great day. Not much kick there. I I thought that horse would be better, just didn't have a great day. Tanner Ross was doing everything that he could.
You know, in a ride like that, you look at the judges because that horse didn't, you know, perform to the best ability. Hopefully we're getting a re-ride.
Yep, and that's what it looks like coming up, Kate. Going to give Tanner a shot, and I love that out of the judges. That's what I feel like they needed to do right there. Tanner had no shot of winning anything here. See a great start right there, gets a hold of him. I mean, that's all Tanner. And this horse just, look, it's like anything else. These horses will have an off day, and this one just doesn't have its best day.
So another chance for Tanner Oz. We will see him in just a bit. 2016 American champ. He knows how to get it done, so he's got to be happy with that re-ride option. We were talking re-rides yesterday, bull riding. For example, you wanted to see Lemmy get that re-ride. You said today that they better be given re-rides when we're this close to that $2 million finish line.
Well, for me, I just want to see him get a chance. You know, like get a shot at it. And if you fail, then you fail. You know, but to get a fair shot is all anybody in the rough stock ever wants.
Jamie Hallett getting set next. He's aboard Riley's Raising Cane, looking for his first American Finals qualifier. Sits back, hand in the rigging. There's a nod.
This is what I'm talking about right here. Great horse of Andrews, and he's gotten him stalled out right there. That's big time stuff. Look, he needs to be a lot of points. This is another one we're talking coming in with, what, 80.5? So you know these guys like Larson, these other guys that had bigger scores coming in, they're going to make good on it. So you got to, and he did.
Hey, Howlett, 88 points. That puts him right at the top of the leaderboard. Howlett doubles up here on a Thursday night. What about that?
Hey, and if you like this, it's only going to get better.
You know, we talked about these guys getting to this position. They have to rise to the occasion to compete against your Casey Fields. You guys like that?
You want to know what it feels like to try and get one step closer to $2 million. Howlett was just showing us. Andrew Ruth is where we go next. Board tip-off here.
Yeah, and you see him getting tipped away from his hand there. Horse is kind of taking over as that ride progressed.
And Ruth needed to be big. He came in with 80.5 towards the bottom of the 12 that were coming back. Not what he needs here, 70 points.
Yeah, you get behind, like on this Frontier horse, everything's good, and then you get a little behind, and it goes from good to really bad.
He'll have to wait and see what happens here. Oh.
Look, let's just be honest here. This is the hardest event in rodeo physically. It is tough. These guys are unbelievably tough that participate in this event. And this guy right here, no exception, Wyatt Denny.
He's scored short night. He's been to the American before. That happened in 2019. Big on the big stage at the NFR 3 times. Denny can be dangerous in these situations.
Heath Stewart right there, Kate from Frontier. The guy that really heads up this entire rodeo for us and all the stock and does a great job. Luke, you know Denny's going to let it roll.
Every time, and you can see right there, loosened up, just up, but he's going for it. And that's what he has to do.
That's what you have got to do. I mean, we talk about it in all the events, but I mean, this is tough. You can see him limping, getting up, got to try and gather himself over there by the wall, and he said, yeah, I don't need any help out.
Denny started so good here, does not deliver at the semifinals, comes down early aboard short night.
You see that horse, forward movement. Forward movement is where in the rough stock the animals get their power and strength from, and that horse has got a lot of it, really bucking hard.
Those hits have to hurt, and they hurt a little more when it ends that $2 million dream. But for Bodie Lammers right now, that dream is still alive. He's more hockey time.
Another one from Frontier, just gonna stall out right here. Give him the business. Gets a little weak at the end there. We'll see what they do with him, but.
Yeah, is it going to be enough? But it is the top 6 coming back on 2. Right now, 5 guys coming back on 2. 77.5. That actually slots Lammers right now into the number 2 spot.
doesn't get any better if you're a bareback rider and one wants to stall out like that and come right back to you. And then you're just saying, stay right here, and please be kicking hard. And then you feel them take off, you're like, not yet.
Lammers has to wait through the rest of the field to see if that 77.5 will keep him above that coveted cut line that's at number 6.
And you see that 38 coming in for the stock. You're going to want to see those horses, Luke, 40s and up. That's the ones that are really going to give you the big shot.
Jamie Howlett could breathe a little easier. The rest of the field going to be holding their breath as we go to Jacob Rain. He's aboard right angle.
And you talk about that stock. This horse averages 41 average score, so he has a good chance right here.
Rain wants that first American Finals, and he wants it in a big way. He makes the whistle, but now up to the judges. How big will it be? And not as big as he was wanting it to. 78.5. He's in there now, but will he stay?
And you watch when his hat pops off right here. That's because his chin's getting snapped. This horse is moving away from him, snapping his chin. There is so much effort being exerted right there from Jacob Rain, trying to keep up with that.
Well, and that horse started strong, and if he could have got his feet into him and helped him, that might have helped the horse score as well, right?
Maybe, maybe you can get a hold of them, get them picked up. Those really strong, great guys, yes, they can.
With that effort, Rain slides into the number 2 spot overall. We're right in the middle of the bareback riding as we conclude the semifinals night of the American, brought to you by JCB. Now, Cade Saunier is a guy that's coming in with an 81.5, so he knows he has to make a big move here. But guys, because of what we've seen so far, it just needs to be a 69 or higher to make it into the top 6.
Well, I was really impressed with him the first time we got to see him out here, and I like the matchup that he's got tonight from Frontier. This is a good chance. Look, and these guys, okay, yeah, somebody can tell you only need to be 69. Doesn't matter in the bareback ride. You're going at it with everything you got. You're trying to be 169 every time the gate opens, and that's not even possible.
Time's up. Takes it away. Cade Saunier. With the spur ride. Time's up. Seems to stay strong, but was it strong enough?
That's a good ride. That's a big, strong horse. Like on TV, you can tell that horse is big. On the arena floor, that horse is huge right there.
And what a great ride. I mean, rising to the occasion. His dad, Joey, bronc rider, made the national finals. So rodeo family, but that was a great ride for that young cowboy.
Absolutely, from start to finish.
It's a 79 for Saunier, so that puts him at the 3rd spot. Right now, he's sitting well. We've got 4 guys left to go. So Saunier breathing slightly easier, but you've got guys like Will Lowe that are coming up right behind you.
I love this guy. He's got a great matchup here. Crowd pleaser from Championship Pro Rodeo. Will Lowe, they do not make him any tougher than this little guy right here.
We've seen him get kicked in the head and walk out of the arena blood gushing. This kid, we're the same age, so it makes me feel good to see him out there riding.
Absolutely, makes you think we still got a chance in life.
He's won on all the biggest stages, 3-time world champ, looking for his 8th American. Hasn't won the American yet. So is it enough to move on to that contender round? 77 points for Lowe. That's gonna slide him number 5 overall. Lowe may live for another day, but not if Warren Larson has something to do about it. He's aboard Mary.
Yeah, this is kind of one of these feature horses out tonight, Luke, in my opinion, from Bridwell. Mary puts up big numbers. Warren Larson, if you don't know, this guy's really, really good. See how they can come off the wall.
It's looking good for Larson. 2019 American champ. That year he won $100,000. This time around he said, put me in that $2 million fight, boys. Larson, 86 points. Look out for Larson, the veteran. Can't be stopped.
What I liked right here is Oren was stuck with this horse. When that horse got to the fence, you see him kind of die off sometimes. This horse got it on even stronger. Get over there, get away, and let Oren make his ride.
And so does Oren, though. You know what I mean? Like, he knows the fence is there. He's aware of that, and he does not weaken. He lets them roll.
And with that, Larson, they put him in the lead. He takes that top spot going into that contender round, so we will be seeing Larson tomorrow night. It's moving now. It's Will Lowe in that number 6 spot, courtesy of Larson taking over that number 1 spot. Be happy about that one, champ. Jaco Roper looking for his first American Finals. Coming off a big appearance in San Antonio, placed in 3 of the 5 rounds. He's got a place here.
Yeah, and look, Will Lowe is not safe right now because he's got to wait out 2 young hot shots, starting with Jaco Roper. This guy looked really good the first time we seen him, 83.5. He's got broken button of Corco's. And look, I've known TJ Corco and his family since I was a young kid. They used to have the horses at our high school finals, and you could always count in the bareback riding on them being wild and having some hang time. And as a bareback rider, that's exactly what you want.
Well, Jaco's proved that he can get it on those type of horses, so let's see if he can handle this one right here.
Needs a 74.5 to be above that cut line in number 6.
He's doing it.
Broken button, giving his best effort. Roper right there with him.
Yeah!
Oh, yeah! Give it to the crowd inside the Coliseum. 86.5 here.
Justin, watching that, felt like, to me, it looked like he was getting out of position, but he kept fighting.
But he kept firing. That's it, man. He kept firing and going. This is a sport that is so reactionary. You have got to, are you the kind of guy that says, oh no, or oh yeah? You have got to be an oh yeah guy in this sport right here, because if you blink, they take advantage.
Roper ranks with that one, number 2 spot. You can point at him again tomorrow, Jaco. 2 left to go here, because don't forget Tanner Ross has that re-ride, so we'll be seeing it at the end. Oren Larson, Jaco Roper, Jamie Howlett, they are safe. It's the bottom half of those 6 that have to wait and see what happens as we go now to Sam Peterson aboard Delta ship.
I've been so impressed with this 18-year-old right here, Luke. I mean, this kid's still in high school, and to be on this stage riding against these guys and not backing down from it on these big-time horses, that's a really cool thing for me to see. And we see it in the timed events, we see it all over, but in an event as physical as the bareback riding, look for great things from that young man in the future.
He had to be a 75 to advance. It's going to be a 69.5 here. Not going to happen this year for the 18-year-old, but big things coming for Peterson. Well, it was Tanner Oz who we started with. He was awarded a re-ride, and re-rides often mean best horses in the pen. Let's send it to Anthony.
Big Dance is the Frontier Rodeo bucking horse that he has drawn, and listen to this. Over 4 seasons, the average marking of this animal is 47. Obviously, we know 50 is the max. What this tells me is this is a big-time bucker setting up a big-time opportunity for Oz, who needs to get all the points he can get coming in with the score that he has.
Well, Tanner was working on his bareback glove before the rodeo tonight, and I hope he got everything just right with it.
This big dance, going to be the dance to get him to the big show, has to be a 78.5 or better. Oz. Attaboy, Oz, we'll see. You think it's enough?
He was bearing down right there. You can see how tight you watch how he keeps his chin buried, because if your chin gets up, things can get out of whack on you. He was trying to just keep his chin buried and fire him at him, trying to stay close and tight. That's a really strong horse right there. If you get loosened up on that one right there, you hit the ground.
Oz needed to be a 78.5. He's at 81. He makes the cut. Oz aces this one. We'll be seeing him again, but it's Oren Larson on top in the bareback riding as we get you set for that contender round. From Super Bowl Champs, helmets come off. From the field to the dirt, Super Bowl champ Bear Pasco knows how to win. This his biggest chance yet on dirt.
To have a chance to come back here and actually go through the qualifying rounds and have a chance here tonight in the third round to give it another go. Pretty excited about it. It makes me think of playing football and getting to go back to AT&T Stadium and leave it all out on the field on a Sunday. That just makes it that much more special.
A ride up the PCH may surprise you with views of not only beaches and sun, but ranches and cattle. The perfect setting for a couple of California cowboys raised on the Golden Coast.
Most people don't think of California as being cowboys, you know, but you're going to New York and playing football. How many times did you get questioned, what, cowboys in California?
Oh yeah, about every time we had a new player come in or something like that, and I'd walk in wearing jeans and boots, like, what part of Texas you from? I said, I'm not from Texas, I'm from California. Like, really?
Well, we guess we run these steers up and get after it?
Yeah. I mean, how many times do you get to have Luke Branquino 5 times opening the chute for it?
I still got the video. I think that was the first time you came out and jumped the dummy?
Yeah.
There you go. Oh. My camera work was amazing. How's your body feeling?
A little rough now.
When it gets to the point where it's quality runs, not quantity.
Exactly.
And the shape to win a Super Bowl ring is completely different than trying to win a gold buckle.
Making a good steer wrestling run gets me more excited than playing in a professional football game. It's that much fun.
Had to call in the A team to come haze for you, huh?
Yeah, #1 hazer right there. It's a D team.
D team? You caught him and you just kept hustling. He tried to pull you down the ring. He kept moving with your feet and got a good fall out of it.
At 35 years old, Bear is soaking up all the knowledge he can to compete yet again at the highest level. And with some world champion bulldoggers on his side, he's got a fighting chance at $2 million.
The gratification of getting to qualify to the American for that $2 million.
That was something I've been wanting to compete at for a long time. To be able to earn a spot to the American, I was pretty excited about that.
You'll see Bear Pasco coming up right here in the steer wrestling presented by Durango Boots. I'm sure he'll do much better than Branquino's camera work. Yeah.
Hey, that was cool, though. That was
awesome.
That was like, you know, getting Tom Brady and Joe Montana to teach Luke how to throw a football.
So good. Trell Etbauer starts us off, and we're going to start off quick here, boys. 3.51. Just need to be a 4 and 24. You're shaking your head. Why?
That was a great. It was a shaking my head like stud run to start.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I mean, that steer was out there running, then popped his head. Terrell caught him high, but watch him hustle right here. Gets over that inside horn and finishes. Now, that steer they've done good on at San Antonio, but you get into these different buildings, different situations, they could change just like anything.
Yeah, and that Terrell's such a good hand in multiple events, as you well know, Luke. Awesome run.
Trell excels up the leaderboard with that one, puts him in the #3 spot. Just as we've seen in the previous events, that cut line is sitting at #6. Chance Howard has a chance here in a big way.
He does, and you know, one thing about Chance, he's big, long, tall. This steer's not as good of a steer as like Terrell had. Chance just missed the national finals last year, but he has had a lot of success in this building, but unfortunately tonight, it didn't go his way.
9.93 for Howard. Hung on to it, was gonna leave here empty-handed. Dalton Massey hopes to make some moves. Comes in here on 2 heads so far in 9.99 seconds. He's gotta be a 4.28 or less.
Yeah, this Northwest Cowboy comes from a great family. Sid, Randy, Ray, Britt. You know, this kid will be at the national finals at some point, but he has a chance at $2.1 million right here, guys.
Placed in 3 out of 5 rounds at San Antonio. Placed now. It matters the most, Massey.
Yeah, just does not have a real good one. You can see when he leaves the box, that steer's chest is in front of his horse's chest. This arena's short, narrow. That horse got into the wall, but really hustled through there to get his feet on the ground. But you're gonna see it right here. Dalton hits the barrier just like he needs to, but that steer already started carving at him, and Roney gets by him pretty good right there, but just some tough luck.
7.74, 17 overall, so Massey won't make it this year. Well, Wyatt Journey comes in 16th overall. He's got to be a 4.8 or less to advance. Another guy who had the momentum in San Antonio, off to a good start in the world standings, number 22 overall. Now we'll see if Journey can continue that momentum here.
Yeah, and he's rodeoing with Jason Thomas. I believe he's riding Jason Thomas's horse. So you have a guy on the other side that's been there, done that. Jason's made the national finals. And when you can get in with a crew like that, it just helps you in the winning category.
Absolutely. I mean, I can remember how important that was for me, getting to spend time around Ty Murray, Jim Sharp, these legendary guys that I looked up to. And it's not so much what they tell you, but you can watch and learn a lot.
Yes, definitely, and I'm sorry, Ringo Robinson's right here. This is his horse, and this horse is the real deal. She's an awesome mare. Wyatt just gets out of the barrier a little too quick, breaks it, steer doesn't go as much, and stops.
Journey knew he was going to have to be quick. It's going to be a no time here. So that Journey for Journey ends right here on a Thursday night. They're fixing that barrier, tie-down roping. We saw so many broken barriers. That's just where we're at on a Thursday night as they're running for it.
Yeah, and you know, they have to, but like we talked earlier, these guys know how fast they're going to have to be when they back in the box. You know, maybe they don't have their calculators out knowing the exact numbers, but they say, okay, I have to be 4.5, I have to be 3.9. Dakota Eldridge is in the situation. He has to be fast because he came in at the bottom. You know, Peyton McIntyre was good on 2. He's coming in 4th. He needs to get his horse settled in the box. He has a chance tonight. They've done really good on this steer at San Antonio.
That's such a fine line to me, too, when you know what you got to be, if you got to push, if you can back off it a little bit, because it all happens in the blink of an eye right here.
It does, and you can overthink it. Peyton gets a good start. Feet kind of get tangled up right there, but when that happens, you just got to get the grit out and go to hustling.
Sometimes you just got to impose your will, don't you, big man?
That's exactly right. You know, watch the start right here. Barrier hits his horse's chest, gets up that steer's back, but feet hit short. He tries to stick him in the ground, and once that momentum's killed from his feet hitting short, steer gets his nose up there, he gets a hold, mashes him down.
He had to be a 5.31. McIntyre makes magic with that 4.67, and it slides him into number 3 overall. Got to wait and see what the rest of the field does. Mike McGinn leading the way, Jacob Elder, and then you see McIntyre in that number 3 spot. But that cut sitting right at number 6 for Jason Thomas. It's a 5.25 to come back.
And a great steer here. They've done really good on him at San Antonio. And what I like about this run, and we're going to get to see it again, he gets the start. Steer's just running nice and average out through there, but we're going to see it here again, and I was very impressed with Jason Thomas's patience.
Take that one to the pay window, Thomas. 3.99. He slides in the number 1 spot with that, too, so patience pays off.
You see how Steer kind of throws his nose up? Jason gets it and waits. Lets that steer's body come by him so he can get that flat fall out of it.
We highlighted him earlier. We saw him in that great piece with Luke. Bear Pasco, so with the New York Giants, Atlanta Falcons, Detroit Lions. Helped the Giants win a Super Bowl. He's played on the football field inside AT&T Stadium. Now, can you go there for the first time on dirt?
You know, a good start right here. They haven't done a lot on this steer. Feet stick a little bit. Good finish by Bear right there. But unfortunately, he's a little too long. That steer tried on. Like I said, they hadn't done much on him. When his feet hit short, he has to take a couple steps with him, and that's just going to cost you time.
Had to be a 4.37. He was a 4.7.
And that's the difference right there, right, Luke? When he's got to kind of bobble those feet a little further down the arena, there's that time.
That's right, and you're going to really get a good view of it here. Feet hit short. See how he takes 1, 2, 3 steps, but his finish is great. If he could have started that run with his feet planted, he was going to have a chance to make it back easy.
Pasco doesn't punch that ticket to Friday. But sure, it's great to watch him here. He's going to cheer on his buddies now. Bridger Anderson, all he had to do was be a 5.46. He was number 1 coming in the 2-head aggregate. He's a 4.74 here. Anderson takes another one down.
Yeah, and we talked about Bridger earlier in the show. Not a very good steer. Horse work great right there. He has great coaching. Stockton Graves on the other side, hazing for him. But Bridger really was smart with this run right here. Good start. Watch him set this up. Steer's pulling, tries to get a horn by him, but he stays ahead of that steer's nose.
And that's what always impresses me so much, when you don't have the best stock drawn and you're still able to make it work.
Well, and that's the difference between being in a situation of excelling or just being in that situation to be there. He wants to excel, and he's always wanted to ever since he was a young kid.
And Anderson, with that, will advance. He's in the number 3 spot overall. We've got just 3 left to go. For Justin Schaefer, it's a 3.98 or better to join Anderson at that party tomorrow night.
Yeah, I was up there at the draw with, Justin, see what he had. Steer didn't go much, but he might have pulled enough to get out of the barrier. One thing about Justin, he's so technically sound. He does a great job catching cattle that are tough and throwing them down. Worked a lot with Rope Myers when he was younger, but I think he might have broke the barrier right there, guys.
And he did. 14.04 for Schaefer. Can you ever blame it on your pusher?
Oh, yeah, I do all the time when I break the barrier. But you can see right there, he is way off the corner before that gate's even open. Plus 10 every time.
Schaefer's journey to that $2.1 million is going to end right here. Trell Etbauer sitting on the edge of his seat at that number 6 spot as we've got 2 steer wrestlers left to go. The steer wrestling presented by Durango Boots. Cameron Mormon wants to make it back. He has to be a 4.31 or less inside Cowtown Coliseum.
Great horse right here of his, Rio, he got from Jacob Reinhardt. Cameron Bulldog's great, got that right hand open, lifting on that horn. I don't know that he's going to be fast enough to get through, though, guys.
I just missed it by about half a second with that 4.73. That slides him into number 8 overall. And it all comes down to 1. And the 1 happens to be an 8-time NFR qualifier. Man, he's going to want to get this one back, isn't he?
He is, and that was a tough steer. They hadn't done a lot on him. Cameron made a good run, and sometimes you just have to, that's the steer you have drawn. You make the best run you can, and if it doesn't work out for you to qualify, you know you did your job.
Here's the 8-time qualifier I was talking about. You see the line, it's a 13.71 on 3. What that math means, Dakota Eldridge, who's been in this position before, he's been to the American 8 times. He'll be to all 9 if he's able to move on from here. Has to be a 3.44. There's the nod.
Yeah, and we've seen the video of this steer. Average lead, great run by Dakota, but on the lead, I don't think he was, you could see it right there. He knows he broke the barrier. That steer was average. He was trying to win, just couldn't get through there.
Yeah, look, he's got to be, that's the fastest time we would have seen, and that's what he had to do, was be the fastest time that we'd seen, and just started too early.
So that 9th trip to the American is going to have to wait for Eldridge as he exits Cowtown Coliseum. Well, steer wrestling is in the books for Bear Pasco, just outside of the money for the Super Bowl star, but it's Bridger Anderson who has another out in his future. Anderson advances to the contender round.
Back inside the historic Cowtown Coliseum, the journey to 2.1 million is underway. Barrel Racing, brought to you by Polaris, is up next. And if we've learned anything over the last 2 nights, is that the times are fast, the talent is absolutely mind-blowing, both two-legged and forward. There you see National Finals Rodeo qualifier Ryan Padone hopes to make a trip to Arlington and do something special once again on her amazing horse, J.S. Milo and Stitch and Halen Lyde. I tell you what more can you say about the talented individuals that we are seeing? Take a look at the barrel racing. As you see, top 10 will move on to tomorrow's performance. Laura Moat sits atop the leaderboard. A clean slate for each and every one of these individuals and their horses. And then the fastest 10 will move on to compete in tomorrow's first performance of the American, and they hope to make one step one barrel closer to that $2.1 million opportunity. Mac, I know you're excited. Luke, I know you're excited. Ryan Padone, when I spoke to her earlier today, this young lady was ready to rock and roll on this night in Fort Worth.
And for Padone, that time to beat 13.904. She picks up the pace there coming out of the first. Oh, picks up that leg on the second. It wasn't enough. Number 2 goes down as Padone heads home here.
Well, yeah, and Luke, you and I have been talking about this all week. Balance, right? A balanced horse. And when you see a horse that's wanting to shoulder in and you see a rider having to try and pull their nose to the outside, it's really just shoving their shoulder further in. But the anticipation of this particular event makes that really, really tough.
18.589 with that penalty as we go now to Michelle Pankey.
Michelle is going to be aboard the 7-year-old mare named Tala. They have only been a team for less than 6 months. First time she ever rode her, she said she's a rocket, and she is showing us that style tonight.
Wow. Thank you. Might be partying here, crosses the line. Oh, she had to be a 13.904 by 100th of a second. Pankey is in for now.
What a beautiful run right there. Started the first barrel off great. The end of the, around that third, she kind of paused, stalled out just a little bit, cost her a little time. But, if they haven't been together for very long, there's a good chance they're going to be a winning combination.
We are going to stay on the theme of not being together very long. This is only this team's 19th career run. Brittany Dallaire and Harvey, the 4-year-old, in his very first pro rodeo performance ever. A little wide around number 2, going to tighten it up. And there you go, fly, baby, fly.
Dallaire dives toward that finish line, 13.851. That right now sitting in that number 10 spot. Now for barrels and breakaway, it's 10 coming back, not 6. Purely based on the number of entries. So for Dallaire, she has to wait and see. Will 13.851 be enough to continue?
We go now to Tandy Myers, and this is Streaking Dusty Light, a.k.a. Beef. Finished 21st in the slack, and now they hope that they can better their time and go that much faster. A lot of movement around barrel number 1. 2 is much better. Moving to number 3.
Yeah, it has to be a 13.851 to advance, and she's getting ready to cross the eye right there and see if she can get it done. Oh, just too long.
13.893, number 11. Is not coming back to Friday night. Tandy Myers makes her way back home.
Megan Swint, 13.849 is what got her into this performance, and right now it is just stacked deep. 13.851, Dallaire sitting number 10 is the cut line. Boogie around number 1, headed to number 2. Left to right barrel, it doesn't matter which one you go to, cloverleaf pattern in full effect. Let's boogie on home.
Megan Swint makes her way towards that finish line, but just a little bit too long here. 14.093, the fastest we've seen all week in the arena, guys. Laura Moat, the young gun, with a 13.577. That cut line, yes, at number 10 is important, but just goes to show how quick these barrel racers are inside this arena. So right now that cut line is Brittany Dallaire at that 13.851. That is the number to beat. We're making our way through the barrel racing presented by Polaris, dragging right now inside the arena because, Justin, you know it's all about the ground, but we'll get to that in just a bit. Right now, I want to bring you something we've got unique for you right here on the American. It's going to be showing 2 of our barrel racers side by side to see the difference sometimes in just 100th of a second. It's Teton Ridge's Shadow Tracer. This is going to be Halen Lyde next to Brittany Dallaire. Take a look at how close this is coming around the 2 here. The left horse, Lyde. The right horse, Dallaire. Anthony, what do you make of this?
I mean, this is one of those things that just shows it's almost stride for stride, but you see how small little extra movements around those barrels. Yeah.
Man.
Coming down the stretch, the closer had it.
Right at the end. That's the difference between moving on for $2.1 million and not. That is it. Well, the stage is set, the arena ready to go as we move on to our next barrel racer here, Oceane Valou, Anthony.
Yeah, 16 years old. This young lady, just what she's already accomplished this early in her career is unreal. 7-year-old gelding. They've been a team for 3 years, and when I talked to her about this horse, she said, this horse is my best friend, plain and simple. We go to battle together, we do everything together, we hang out together. I don't know if they're watching movies together. It might be hard to get this beautiful Palomino horse in the house to watch movies, but what we're about to watch could be something extremely special for a 16-year-old young lady to have an opportunity like she does aboard the mythical beast that is a unicorn. Look at this run.
Valou hustles to the third. She makes her way around. Is it going to be victory for Valou? It is. 13.68. That puts Valou number 4 overall right now.
That's a great run, and coming right at us right there. At the end, I was hoping old Yeller would get the brakes put on.
That was a great run right here, coming out a little wide around that third. If she can clean that up, she has a chance to take the lead right here, guys.
16 years old, Valou looking good to move on to that contender round, perhaps just 3 runs away from $2.1 million. We go to Jana Brown.
Do not make any big checks until this young lady goes on this amazing blazing Gentilino horse, but the second barrel is going to come down. And as these times quicken, y'all are going to see that everybody's trying to cut as many corners as they can to save as much time as possible.
Yeah, like that. She's 13-7, Luke, and you know, and really kind of quits riding on the way home. It's not even really pushing the pace, and it was still 13-7. If she wouldn't have knocked over that barrel, I think we were really going to see some movement at the leaderboard.
Brown actually had set the arena record on different horse at Cowtown last year. She's going to have to wait. Bailey Coate.
I am so excited about this run and this team because the vet actually cleared this horse to run 2 days before the semis. They didn't expect to be in this position, but here they are.
Blast home, Bailey and Boozer. Oh, just outside of the top 10, 13.999 here.
You know, and these girls, they come to these situations knowing they got to go as fast as they can, get their horses as close to the barrel as they can. Just a little bit long right here, and you know she's going to go home wishing she could have changed some things up, but guess what? There's going to be American next year, and she's going to have a chance at some money.
Just 3 barrel racers left to go on a Thursday night, which means your top 7 are safe. It's those bottom 3 that have to wait and see. It's Jimmy Bryant. He's been to the American before. Wow, Bryant bends around that second. Look back, thought to grab it. Took down the third as well. Not what Brian wanted to see here, Anthony.
No, Anthony didn't want to see it either.
Anthony's moving on because he knows we'll have to talk to someone here in just a bit. Man, he set it up on that first barrel, but see, he knew he was going to be close to all of them and got a little behind here.
Yeah, and when you take your eye off the target, like he dropped his reins at that point, you know, you totally, in the rough stock, you got to keep your eye on the bull, on the bareback, the bronc, whatever it is. In the roping, your eye on the target. In the barrel racing, you got to have your head up, look into that next barrel. When you stop to have to look at what's going on at the time, it messes everything up.
13.826, that is the marker. That is what you have to beat to get back here tomorrow, to keep that chance at $2 million alive. Summer Schaefer on her horse Barbado sends him around 1, then we go to 2. It's looking good for Schaefer. Oh, dives down on that third, does everything she can. Pushes this one home, she wants it. But she's gonna just miss it, 13.940, just outside.
You know, and we talked about it on the shadow tracer right there. 12/10 of a second right there is a difference between her moving on and going home. And you know, what can you say? These horses are trying, these girls are trying.
Yeah, she was pushing. She was asking Old Bay for everything he had.
Well, there's one left to go, so we're dragging in the arena as they drag after every 5. While we're waiting for that arena to be just perfect, the young gun, Ocean Valou, is standing by with Anthony.
Heaven's Guy is the beautiful animal, and Oceana is the talented young cowgirl, 16 years old. How special is this horse to you?
He is everything to me. He's like my boyfriend. I mean, he's everything. He's just so special. If I'm in a bad mood, I just go see him, and he'll make me laugh. Either way, he's just always, he's like a clown.
And to be able to ride this horse and now have a chance for $2.1 million, how many treats would he get if you were able to win that big check?
The whole bag? I guess he would get, I would buy him a new ranch, and he could get a huge pasture, and he would love that.
There you go. I bet her dad is happy that that's her boyfriend. How about it, Oceana? She is moving on to tomorrow, and this amazing horse is going to be underneath her.
Yeah, the 16-year-old victorious here in a big way. It's going to be fun to see that pair come back, and you saw it there in her interview. The horses mean everything in barrel racing. It really is a team sport, and it took both of them to make it back to Friday night.
Yeah, that's her dancing partner right there, and you have to have the trust in that animal to be able to be successful in this arena.
Well, Valou gets to smile and come back tomorrow for more, but there is one left to go still, and that is Kelly Collier, 2017. She went on to the American but did not advance to that shootout round. She's been to the NFR before. That trip also happened in 2017, a big year for her. Her horse here, positively streaking. She's the last one that could move at that number 10 spot. It's a 13.826.
And this is a cool little horse. I got to spend a lot of time with this horse, rodeoed with her and her boyfriend Stetson Jorgensen. Salty is what they call her, and this horse can get it on, and sure is impressive getting around these horses. Great job lifting your leg right there, Kelly. Get around that third. Let's see if you can advance.
It's smooth, it's clean. Can she push it past it?
Yes, she does.
Collier.
I love it when the last person gets in right there. That is awesome.
Some chaos in the leaderboard as the last barrel racer to go, and she does it in a big way. 13.681. That's not just number 10. Collier moves all the way up to number 4. We'll see her tomorrow.
Top of the ground right there. Oh, I beat you to it, Justin.
Oh, man, because I knew it was coming off of that fresh dragon. You rascal, Luke.
What a great barrel race, and what a way to finish the barrel racing right there.
Yeah, and you know when you get a veteran like this that's had the kind of experience in the big moments, she knows what she's got to do. She's going to go perform.
Yeah, she does, and you know Dr. Greg there in Amarillo, he's got Salty feeling right, and you know that's her second boyfriend. Stetson, actually probably first. Stetson's her second, but you know that's such a special animal to him.
We'll take a deep breath there, Collier. Your callback comes tomorrow. As for Ocean Valou, her and her dancing partner on the board, coming back. That $2.1 million is still alive. We're halfway through the...
A lot of little aspects that go into
the caliber of these bucking horses that are assembled.
It's a battle, but it's also a flow. If you can stay ahead of them and stay in time with them, you have a lot of fun. But if you try and overpower them and get out of time, they'll punish you, because I mean, getting on a 1,500-pound animal, there's really no way you're gonna out-muscle that horse. If you can stay ahead of the horse, you have a lot better chance of being successful and putting together great bronc rides.
We're halfway through the final night of the American semifinals right here at the historic Stockyards Cowtown Coliseum as we get to Gus Galliard, first one out. Saddle bronc riding presented by Resistol, and he's gonna come down early at 7.32.
Yeah, and Gus had made a really good ride to get here. Was an 85 on his first one. You hate to see that young guy come down. And look, I gotta be honest, the other night I was a little hung up on Australia for some reason. And Gus is from the good old USA. And man, he's been riding good. But look, this young guy, this is another one of these young rough stock guys, Luke, that I'm so proud to see him here laying it out on the line.
So for Galliard, he was wanting that first American Finals to be this year. Perhaps it'll be next year for the young gun. Isaac Diaz is where we go next, and a guy that has been successful in the American format is this guy, but he makes it all the way to that second to final round and then just can't make that extra distance. So can this be the year, looking for his 5th American Finals, he can go all the way for Diaz?
Absolutely it could. Look, this guy, he's got a good bronc here in Arthur from Dakota Rodeo, and Isaac, to me, I watched him in the slack round earlier in the week, and he made a really, really good, aggressive bronc ride, really set his feet good, and he's got a great style.
It's a top 6 coming back. It's a 2-head aggregate. And it's Diaz dialed in here on a Thursday night.
And that was a handful.
And he feels it there too.
Yeah, big time bronc. I'll be interested to see the scores for this horse coming in, because it's all Isaac can do to get by him. And you heard Brody Kress talking in that feature about staying ahead of everything. Well, this is what happens when you start getting behind. You can see he's not getting over the front of those shoulders like that, kind of hanging in the cantle of that saddle. Strong, strong horse.
Well, that horse coming into it had a 44 1/4 stock. And right there, 44.
Lived up to it too.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the real stuff right there.
It's a 79 for Diaz. So right now, being the only guy on 2, he is in that #1 spot. That is going to set the leaderboard for us. Ben Anderson, what a guy to watch. I know you're a big fan of him, Joe.
Absolutely, and a great old bronc in Hitchcock that's been around a long time. Ben Anderson finishes a little move right there, and he finishes. And you know, it's interesting, guys, talking with the bronc riders before the rodeo started, they're like, this is a little kind of different pin than what we've seen. They are big, they're strong, they're going to throw some stuff at you, and Ben Anderson handled it great.
He handled it great, but watch this when he leaves the chute. Watch the gate rope. Let's see, I thought I seen it wrap around, see it wrap around his foot right there? Talk about hustling through, and that could have been bad.
He just said, must be time to pull my feet.
86 points, that puts him at the top of the leaderboard. AT&T Stadium is looking like it's in Anderson's future.
That was great concentration and focus right there.
Well, you're talking Australia, now you can talk about it, because as we go to Damian Brennan, he was at 88 on Blue Black Splash earlier in the week. Can he be as big here? Oh, right over the top. Oh, and he was going for it too. Man, big disappointment here.
Yeah, and as you said, had that big score coming in. And look, when they ratchet up the bronc power, just doesn't ever get started with him. A good spur out and then kind of just hangs in the belly there, one jump, and you get behind. This kind of stock puts you down.
Especially these big rank horses, and you could really see the difference from the couple purse before to this pin of horses tonight.
And it's just going to keep going that direction. This isn't even the top end of it yet.
No score for Damian Brennan as we go now to Chet Johnson, 4-time, or Brady Hill. We're going to switch it around here for you on a Thursday night. Just keeping you on your toes, everyone. Brady Hill comes in with that 84.5. Right now, you just got to be on 2 to advance back, but that is going to change.
Yeah, Cracker Jack of Andrews here. You see kind of throwing her head back at him. He keeps scratching and trying. That's a tough thing when, you know, because lifting on that rein, that's how you stay heavy in your saddle. That's where you get anchored down in that saddle. And when one of them picks their head up and throws it back at you, all of a sudden, that perfect measurement you had on that bronc rein goes away.
And we talk about the dimensions of this arena. That bronc comes out and then heads right to the fence, kind of long and hard to get in time with something like that, isn't it?
Yeah, it gets right back into the bucket chutes there, circling so tight. And that's a way to keep going at it, though.
And still smiling because right now, Hill has it. He's in with that 75.5, right at that #3 spot. Logan Hay, and he's aboard. Let her rip.
And this could be a big one right here. This is a great horse of Frontiers. Logan Hay, I feel like, has got all the potential to beat 90 anytime he's got that kind of horse under him, because this young guy will go for it.
The horse to have when you're going for millions. Hay has it here. Can he finish strong?
He finishes as good as he can, and when one has to come back up that wall, the angle of it is cutting the arena out for that bronc. So they're actually losing real estate as they try to come back up. And that's the tough thing about this pin in a good horse that'll circle like that. They really run out of room, but I thought Logan did a really good job to keep going off of this. Like, he never weakens one bit.
82.5, that puts Hay in that #2 spot overall right now.
Good, strong finish. And keep in mind, in the bareback ride, the bronc ride, those last couple of jumps, and even after the one after the whistle blows, it's not supposed to matter. It's only 8 seconds, but that's the last thing the judges see.
Hay's brother Dawson has competed at the American before. His dad, of course, Rod Hay, 20-time NFR qualifier. A family event for the Hay family here. As we move now, it's Shorty Garrett. He's aboard. What about this horse, Final Feather?
Yeah, Shorty Garrett, a lot like Logan Hay. This is a guy that it's in his DNA to be a great competitor at rodeo. You know,
there's Final Feather. That's the one we were looking for.
Yeah, Championship Pro Rodeo here. This is the one that I got word that was supposed to be a really, really good matchup. And when you put this kind of horse under Shorty Garrett, big things can happen.
Well, and you see the average stock score 42 higher, but Shorty does his job. You know, this could be a big score for right now coming in.
And Garrett is already coming in with that 86.5. So he could easily put himself in a good position to get to that #1 spot. Is it Final Feather that's going to have the final say in what happens here? Garrett goes the distance.
And a good, strong finish. I thought he finished better than he started, and that is so important. Ross Coleman and I used to talk about that all the time. Strong spur out and a great finish, and you can win a lot. You know, you can make up for some things in the middle, and Shorty really did. This horse tried to get strong with him, tried to snap him right there. You can see his head snapping up, but right here, he gets dialed in. Now he's just looking down the barrel and giving it to him.
85 points. When you go for it, you get rewarded. Shorty Garrett is in that #1 spot. What a night for Garrett. We've got about half the field left to go. Garrett has to feel good about that one.
Yeah, because he made it really good ride. And that strong finish, you get off feeling it like that. And this next guy, he was feeling it on his first one. Riggin Smith, I really love the energy that he goes at him with.
2020 Saddle Bronc Rookie of the Year. You're leaning with him up here, Justin.
Well, because you just know the effort that these guys are putting out. When you see their heads start getting snapped and they don't just hang them in the candle and get by, they keep throwing their feet at them. These guys are trying to win something.
Well, in the situation they're in, he has to. Yeah. He's coming in top of the leaderboard or right there at the top. He needs to finish strong, and you see him get tipped out a little bit and then back and forth. He does a great job just hustling back to position.
81.5 for Smith. That puts him into #3 overall. Right now, it takes a 73 or better to be in the top 6. Reagan Smith, he's setting good at that #3 spot. But we've got 4 left to go.
Yeah, and got some big matchups in those that are left to go.
Big matchups like this one. Coleman Wanchuk, he's been to the American before, having quite a year, currently #5 in the 2022 World Standings, and he's matching up with Wolf Pup.
Yeah, Wolf Pup of Frontiers. You can see measuring that bronc grain right there. That's what we were talking about earlier. They get somebody to hold the horse's head, pull it up tight behind those swells, and then they're going to use their fingers, X and 1, 2, 3, whatever it is, average, whatever the horse, the stock contractors told them, or your buddy has told you.
There's Wolf Pup getting set, and Wanchuk, we saw earlier in this week, he is bringing in an 87. He got that ride aboard Fire Lane. So this is another guy that, if you've got a good horse, you're gonna get there.
Yeah, especially when you ride like this. There's a good look at Heath Stewart. That guy does so much other than just a great stock contractor, but for the American rodeo in general, you can't put a price on what Heath Stewart does for everybody.
and he's making sure.
Wanchuk just wants to get everything right.
Wanchuk, Wolf Pup, working at it together all the way to the whistle. Just has to be a 73 or better here, and he wants it.
He's going to be more than 73. I feel like I have been wrong before, but I feel like he'll be more than 73, and he does such a good job with his rein. It's really, really impressive to me. We talk about how important your rein is and having it the right length, and looks like it gets a little bit long on him throughout the course of this ride, and he didn't let that bother him. Like right there, it's getting long. He just picks up on it, stays sitting down in his saddle. That's a fantastic job.
Wanchuk wills it to 8, and it pays off for him in a big way. 85 points, that sends him directly to the top of the leaderboard, and he knows that Wanchuk coming back tomorrow night. Wanchuk, Garrett, Anderson, they can breathe a little bit easier. Isaac Diaz, he has to wait and see. And Mitch Pollock hopes to be right there with him.
I love everything I've seen out of Mitch Pollock up to this point. This guy's attitude, he is hungry to get back and have a chance at AT&T Stadium. Mitch Pollock is for real, guys.
And a great job right there. It looked like that horse was kind of throwing his head back at him, and Mitch was staying in underneath those swells, staying heavy, like you say, in that saddle, and giving it to him.
Yeah, this little guy, really, really athletic little guy. Strong, great little athlete, and where his mind's at right now, he knows he's supposed to win. He believes he's supposed to win, and you're seeing it. You're seeing the confidence right here.
Pollock has come to play 83.5. That puts him number 4, and guess what? That means he's in, and they just told him that in the arena. Pollock coming back to play some more tomorrow. Has to be better than 81.5. Chet Johnson, wow.
This is a handful of Bridwells right here. Mama's boy, Chet. He's such a tough old cowboy.
Wow, that was some hustle and some grit right there. Look at him, he's like, oh, I don't want to do that again.
Yeah, and look, if you don't have that drive, that determination, you're never going to make it anywhere in the rough stock. And Chet Johnson, he's been doing it for a long time too.
At 41 years old, Johnson was going at it for that $2 million dream, but with that 75, the dream is going to have to wait. Johnson stays on the outside looking in as we go to our final competitor here, Sage Newman. He is aboard a horse called Jimmy.
Well, I've been really, really impressed with Sage Newman. The way that this kid sets his feet and how he turns his toes out, he's a littler guy to begin with. And when you put him on one of these big broncs and you see those feet setting like he does, it's hard for a judge not to take notice of that. When he makes a qualified ride and is doing those things, you're going to see him marked up over top of that bronc.
Yeah, and we seen him on Wednesday on Trophy Wife. He was in control of a pretty ranked bronc.
Needs to be a 79 here to beat that score. Newman has got to nail it to go to Friday.
Horse gets a little weak right there, the back end of that ride. I mean, if he's able to be enough points, it's going to be all Sage Newman right there.
Jimmy, not quite the horse he needed, but it's everything that he needs at the same time. Newman, 79.5. Guess what, Newman? You're moving on. We're going to see you tomorrow.
Well, and look, that's what you got to do. We talked about it in the steer wrestling. When you don't have the best stock, you still make it work. Horse just gets a little bit weak at the end, but Sage Newman did not get weak at the end. He stayed strong the entire 8 seconds.
Newman needed it. Newman's got it. It's Wanchuk at the top. Well, as we move on, he's won it all for $100,000. How about $2 million? Joseph Harrison came for the big prize.
For me and my partner to get to run a steer for $2 million, that's just insane.
Welcome back to downtown Cowtown, Fort Worth, Texas, inside of the historic Cowtown Coliseum, and it is time for the team roping, the event that I like to describe as the home run hitters. It is all brought to you by Smarty Training Machines, and when you think about it, every single one of these individuals is going to be swinging for the fences. But as we've seen the last couple nights, sometimes they didn't go so well. They strike out, but we started out with a clean run, but a +10 on the line. Brock Hansen and TJ Watts.
It's that barrier that we've seen really in the timed events all night long, and it's affecting them right here.
Yeah, and that was about as close of a start to getting out as you can get. That neck rope you can see on that steer, it snaps about the time the barrier is supposed to pull, but Brock Hansen,
he can whack it on the horn.
Is as sharp to those horns and back to the saddle horn as about anybody we've seen.
13:54 for Hansen and Watts as we move on now. What about this duo? Jake Clay, Billy Jack Sabins.
Well, old Bobby Harris is watching at home, and he made sure to let me know today, watch for this one. He thinks this guy right here, Jake Clay, is one of the next great things coming down the pipe.
Well, you said that right, old Bob Harris, but look at that head shot right there. Oh, that's something you don't see Billy Jack do very often right there. And you talk about getting it on one right there from Jake Clay.
Sabin sends it sailing, comes up just short. What a good start they had here too.
You know, and talking about how small and the dimensions of this arena, Jake Clay was on a short rope right there. He had that steer picked up. He wasn't going to get in the bind of getting, caught up in the corner right there.
What happened there was the steer checked up, and actually Billy Jack had pushed too far down the arena. And what's so tricky about the team roping in this building is there is a happy medium of momentum. Brenton Hall, Chase Tryon, hoping to find the perfect mixture, and that is how you do it with a 4.09. A team that has done so much in the world of rodeo shows us why they're considered one of the best.
They both made 2 trips to the American. Haven't won it all, but are looking good to do so here. Hall and Tryon, with that, are going to slide themselves into number 5 overall.
Colby Krieger and Nikki Northcott, this team combined averages probably 27, 28 years old. When you think about these 2 young guns going against their heroes, it's one of those things that could seem daunting. But if these 2 rope like they always rope, there is zero fear coursing through their veins because they know how to go fast and they like to press the gas pedal.
Krieger, 20 years old. Northcutt, 15 years old. And unfortunately, that's going to be the end of their journey to AT&T Stadium this season. Well, a duo that's been there before many times, and we've already seen them in the semifinals this week. It's Bubba Buckaloo and Joseph Harrison. They were right in the middle of it yesterday, so on our leaderboard, but they've got 2 opportunities here. The first one they took advantage of in a big way, and this was it. Oh, 2020 is what you're looking at here. This was Joseph Harrison when he won it all, guys, in 2020.
Yeah, that's him and Luke Brown showing you how to get the big check right there. And now this year he's got a chance for an even bigger check. This was their first run. And old Gray, I'll be interested to see this here. Buckaloo's horse got a little short, anticipating, already having him hooked and didn't.
Well, and right there, let that steer step off to the right. Gives you a little more room for your heeler to get in there and get a shot. Gray didn't want to get over there as much, but see where that puts him.
Yeah, Buckaloo and Harrison sitting number 6 overall right now on that try. This here, Brenton Hall, Tyler Worley.
This is another team that grew up roping together like we heard from Joseph and Bubba earlier. Brenton Hall, Tyler Worley, now both very accomplished team ropers. Brenton's already got 1 shot in with Chase, and you saw him roll the dice a little bit more there.
Yeah, going to be a no time for Hall and Worley. They're swinging for the fences and going for it here, guys.
You can see right here, gets that curl and see just snap back off, lays it off him right there.
Well, Garrett Tanazi, Dustin Davis, you see the cut line. It's Buckaloo and Harrison, but they're in twice right now. You can't be in 2 times, so that cut line right now would be at number 7. Lopez, and Walker.
That's amazing to me. Their 2 runs, Bubba's and Joseph, inside this build look identical.
They did, and you know, they're going to get a spot. I have a feeling that, oh, wow, you don't see Garrett Tanazi do that very often at all. Anthony, what did it look like down there with Garrett?
Garrett rocked the barrier, and the one thing that we know about Garrett is that he is one of the most consistent ropers. He missed the right horn, plain and simple. He tried to get a little out of his comfort zone and go a little faster, and what happens is it's no different than the other timed event. It's a speed jam, and Garrett, that is not something we expected to see, and we probably won't see again for a very long time.
No time for Tanazi and Davis making our way through the team roping on the final night of semifinals inside Cowtown Coliseum. Nelson Wyatt, Chase Tryon have both made the big trip in the American 2 times. They need a 4.16 or better to be in the top 6 for another shot and do it again.
Nelson gets it on him right there. Let's see what he got. You bet. Got out of the barrier, and a clean run right there. Great shot by Nelson and great shot by Chase.
Clean is what they needed to be right here. 3.8, that puts them number 5 overall. They'll have to wait and see for Wyatt and Tryon. Time will tell.
The American has taught us to love underdogs, and if we were going to look at the list, over half the field, as Kate has said, has been to the National Finals Rodeo, has been to the American. Corey Smothers and Brandon Gonzalez are both horseshoers from just down the road in Lipan in Stephenville, Texas. They went through the entire process, they qualified in, and now they're here with a $2 million chance. Corey Smothers is actually my horseshoer. Brandon's been over to my house quite a bit, and both of these guys are just salt-of-the-earth individuals, hard-working family men, but the American is giving them opportunity to compete on a stage like they've never seen before.
Yeah, really going for the round here. Time to beat would be 2.8, but for Smothers and Gonzalez, it's a Thursday night inside the historic Cowtown Coliseum. Give it your best shot.
Yeah, I mean, even the thing about it is merely earning this opportunity is huge. And you can still make a statement that, hey, we might not go as much as everybody goes. We might not travel all over the country like everybody else does. But in this setting, on this stage, on this day, you can still make a statement that says, hey, we might have dad bods, but we are still really good at team roping.
What's wrong with dad bods?
There's nothing wrong with dad bods. I have a dad bod, and I'm not even a dad.
Wow,
look at this.
Oh, they were trying for it. 2.08 is what they needed to be to that cut line and above. Won't be making it back there. But hey, they went for it in a big way. Looking back at the barrier.
You can't go for it anymore.
Oh man, that was fun to watch. They knew they had to be big, and they put it all on the line for Smothers and Gonzalez.
That steer hadn't even, his shoulders hadn't even turned, he got a trap set
He might have well just healed him and then let his hair come in there and rope him.
That's for all the horseshoers in America right there.
There you go.
They can rope.
Oh, that was amazing. And there was a little bit of confusion at the end of that run. Corey thought he didn't get a flag, and he did get a flag, and our official was telling him, Corey gets a, he's wired for 100. Let's keep going.
That run, by the way, 3.77, second fastest we've seen all week. What about this one? 3.34, were they clean at the line? Oh, +5.
Well, and you seen right there, they were going to have to be 2.8, 2.9, what, you know, whatever it was. And, you know, not saying it's impossible, Justin, but it's not probable.
You're saying you got a shot.
Whitlow and Whitlow, it was twin brothers going at it here, right outside of that box, too.
Yeah, he's throwing coming across the line. They're trying it.
Hey, you want to see fast? You want to see if we can be faster than Corey Smothers and Brandon Gonzalez? This healer, Ryan Moats, he shares the world record for the fastest runs. He's partnered up with Tate Kirchenschlager aboard the AQHA Horse of the Year. This team can do something fast. Look at this.
Oh. It looked like it was going to be there, but Kirchenschlager and Moats Must be disappointed with that one. They're gonna leave with a no time here. But in the team roping, it's Kidd and Mitchell that are at the top coming back. In that number 6 spot, Hall and Tryon. Well, for Josie Murphy, she was 3 when it started. She's 20 now, and she's got a shot at millions.
I've been fortunate enough to have some success throughout my career, and this is what I love, and this is what I'll always be doing. I'm hoping this year, with a little bit of luck, I'll get in there. That's a dream. It's plain and simple, a dream.
Our sport is just who can get the calf rope the fastest, period. Just so exciting, so electric.
Great start,
It is one of the fastest events in rodeo. There's gonna be runs under 2 seconds. When the American announced they were having breakaway the first time, I mean, girls came out of the woodworks. It was amazing.
The talent in the breakaway field inside the Coliseum has just been tremendous. There were 514 women in the preliminary rounds. That's all been narrowed down to what you're seeing here. Top 10 are going to make it back to that contender round tomorrow night. It's the breakaway roping presented by Cactus Saddles. Megan McGinley gets us underway. A couple swings there. Oh, curl came around right around the top. She's gonna want that one back. No time here for McGinley.
Yeah, and she left a little too soon right there. I believe she broke the barrier. But, you know, again, they got to run at it right there. She came in 19th. Knew she had to get a start and throw a rope to be fast.
And again, it's the top 6, or excuse me, top 10 that are going to be coming back purely based on the number of entries. So that cut line right now is at 8.66 on 3. Samantha Fulton, hoping to have something to say about that. Has to be faster than 3.51. She does it. And she's clean.
I've been so impressed, Luke, with the range that these ladies have in the breakaway. I feel like that's something that keeps getting pushed every year.
Well, for sure, and you see the legends like J.J. Hampton, you know, Jackie Crawford. Those girls, that's all they ever did. And these young girls, they came up learning from them, watching them, and they know if they want to beat them, they better rope just like them or better.
For Fulton, it was a 2.68. As we move now to Hallie Tatham, she's got to be fast here. 2.65 is the time to beat. Waiting for that calf to get perfectly set. Her horse ready to go.
You can see that calf right up in front, right in the chute, gates open, calf leaves. That's how you want them in there. If they're balled up, pushed up in there, that first step, they're going to kind of be wallering through there, and you're not going to be able to take that sharp cut you want.
It's going to be a no time for Tathan right now. Next time for Tathan. It's Cadence Crawford and Catlin Hooper sitting at the top of the breakaway roping. Cheyenne Britton holding her breath here as we go to Maddie Dearman.
Yeah, and they're not just sitting at the top. They got a hold of them right there.
That rope took just that extra hundredth of a second to break off. Oh, no time here.
Yeah, you have to have a clean bell collar catch around their neck, and that rope right there curled a front leg, and obviously not a clean catch and a no time.
Maddie Dearman doesn't like the sound of that. Sydney Graff, she was coming in 5.39 on 2.
You know, have to be a 2.94 to advance or to get in that above that cut line. See if she got out, but see that calf left out there, kind of stepped off to the right, which is great. That's the position, that's where you want those calves to be. But when she left the box, she was kind of up out of her saddle, you know, wasn't down in there or to the front of her horse. I mean, gets out of position, that calf steps right, she wasn't ready to throw, and then it was just kind of a tracking contest down through there.
Graff not able to get it done, no time for her. Well, Harley Pryor, at just 13 years old, is in this position backing into the box. She has to be a 3.88 or better. 13 years old, can she do it?
Decent start just behind it right there, but got it put on him.
And she does it, 3.25. The question is it going to hold up for Pryor? Is it gonna pay off here? right now, it is putting her in that number 7 spot overall.
And just fearless right here. Like just rides to the middle, even drags a knot off of it. That's great roping. 13 years old, are you kidding me?
And the concentration on her face in the box, it was all business.
Pryor, you see her name in that number 7 spot. But quite a few breakaway ropers who hope to have something to say. Peggy Garman, 3.38 or better.
Yeah, she's excited right there. She knows she got out of the barrier, and she knows she got it on. She was coming in 8th, so that was a great run to go ahead and help her get to the advancement spot.
Garman gets it done, 2.24, clean at the line. That puts her number 3 overall.
Wow, that was a big-time run right there.
And Garman, with that, is safe in that number 3 spot. Well, Josie Murphy, we highlighted her earlier in the show. Just a phenom when she was in high school, a 2020 National High School Finals breakaway roping champion. Now she enters that next level. Roping with the elite. Murphy makes it and gets it, 2.41. Is she clean at the line is the question. Turns around to see here. And she's not, guys. 12 and 41.
You know, and focused right there. He tried to get a start, but watch this calf. Leaves through there, kind of just eases out through there. Doesn't leave sharp, doesn't fire through there. You have to take a chance that they're going to in that first step. It's kind of a short step and not a long stride to get out of there for the calf.
A bit of a different pin of calves that we're seeing. When you look at tonight compared to the first night of the semis, it seems a bit of a different start that they're having to take. Ellie Schreck has been studying that start all night. Can she knock it back?
See if she did right there, but roped that calf around the ears. Yeah, unfortunately gets out of the barrier, but just couldn't get it around the calf's neck.
No time for Schreck right here as we have 2 left in the breakaway roping before it's finally decided who is moving on. That means the top 8 are safe. We'll see them tomorrow night in that contender round. Maddie Dearman, we saw her earlier. This is her second opportunity. Has to be a 3.37.
You know, Justin, look at the focus right there, but not on the cowgirl, but look at the horse.
Dearman, 2 swings. Oh.
You know, like Anthony said, the team rope, and you don't see these girls miss that shot very often, trying to rush things. And, you know, we talk about being fast, but you still have to do your job when you're in these situations. You can't shortcut it. You can't add extra steps. You have to do what brought you here.
Kayla Graham is the final breakaway roper of the semifinals. Backs into the box, deep breath for Graham. There's the nod, couple swings out there, looks clean. Horse is pinned back his ears. Oh man, put it around the top of the ears of the calf. Is not where we want it to be. Graham doesn't get it done here. But who does get it done is Harley Pryor, who's sitting well within the top 10, and she is standing by with Anthony.
I am amazed with this young lady standing next to me at 13 years old. Ms. Harley, you're headed to the first day of the American. How excited are you right now?
I am thrilled. I can't get over it.
How do you remain so poised at 13 years old? I think back to when I was 13, not a pretty sight. But you at 13 are able to compete against the best in the world, 514 competitors, and now you move on to the next leg of the American. How do you do it?
I just back in the box, do my job, don't let my horse down. She does that for me. I've got to do that for her.
You talk about your horse. Tell us a little bit about Jewel and how special this animal is to your life.
She's a 10-year-old mare. I've had her for 3 years. This horse is literally my life. I don't know what I'd do without her.
Well, we don't know what we would do without exciting runs like we just witnessed from the 13-year-old star, Harley.
Pryor puts in the time and it pays off. The 13-year-old coming back to live another day. It's the Durango Boots wreck of the round. Damian Brennan right here.
Damian over the front end. The rough stock, it's called rough for a reason.
Brennan busted that one. We'll be back with the Bulls.
What we're about to watch could be something extremely special. for a 16-year-old young lady to have an opportunity like she does. Look at this run.
Valou hustles to the third. She makes her way around. Is it going to be victory for Valou? It is.
We wanted to give her a chance to ride with the best and get a scholarship. And today she just got a scholarship.
That was the Cavenders ride of the round from Oceane Valou, the young gun coming back. Final event of the night as we get you set for the bull riding presented by Acrisure. Oh, that one's already moving around. Sun Devil ready to go. He's got Chase Shot getting ready on him.
Yeah, and look, Chance comes in here, made a pretty good ride to get here, was out Sunday night in the slack round of competition. And this is a young guy that keeps getting better and better. And look for some big-time bull power tonight. Corey Melton and his crew bringing them all in. And Corey Melton's a guy that a lot of people are going to recognize as a really good bull rider himself. Made the PBR finals a lot of times, the National Finals rodeo. And he's turned into one of the premier stock contractors for bull power.
Those of you who are watching us on Cowboy Channel, our coverage will conclude soon, but we will continue on Pluto as we wrap up the semifinals right here at the American. You can find us by going to PBR Right Pass Channel 720 on Pluto right now. Chance Shot just about took a shot right there to the head with Sun Devil roughing him up in the chutes.
Yeah, and look, we talk about this a lot in the rough stock, especially the bull ride. People think the danger's out in the arena, and that's right, but it can be really dangerous inside that bucket chute.
Well, yeah, and you know, talk about in the time events, like you said, the rough stock. You're in there with a big animal in a tight, confined space. They're throwing their weight around, and you're quite a bit smaller. Not you a big man, Justin. I'm talking about these bull riders.
Oh, Shot is taking some shots right here, hung up a bit. The bullfighters is stepping in to get him out of the way. It's going to be a no score for Shot, not moving on.
Yeah, you know, we talked about the bull power starting out this event. Melton, Stockyards Pro Rodeo, they're bringing them in, and that is a fantastic little bull right there. And anytime you go over one's shoulder like that and you're riding with an American-style rope, there's a good chance your hand's going to roll over in that handle. Bullfighter's just trying to get a hold of this one, then you see he comes out, and no worse for wear after all that.
You know, that's something that I've noticed watching the PBRs. You don't see a lot of the American-style bull ropes anymore.
No, you don't, and for that reason right there, guys don't want to take a chance of getting hung up. You know, when I was a kid growing up and being around some of the guys that I traveled with, they told you, you're supposed to get hung up in the chute and then follow them around till you get off.
It's the top 6 on 2 who will be coming back to that contender round tomorrow night. Someone who knows all about being in the winner's circle, Silvano Alves, 3-time PBR world champion. 83.5 on his first one, so needs this one here. For those of you watching on Cowboy Channel, that coverage is about to conclude right now. Go over to Pluto on the app, watch Right Pass Channel 720 on Pluto TV to see how the rest of the semifinals round shakes out. The best we've seen the bull riding was 88.5. Alves comes down quick here, and his score on 1 is not going to be enough. Alves will not advance to Friday.
Yeah, and you want to tuck your chin, but you cannot tuck your whole head, because when you tuck your head, you put a hump in your back. You put a hump in your back, you get top heavy, and you take the weight off of your feet. That's why you see him wanting to come up behind him. That's why you see his front end wanting to tip over that bull's shoulder.
Well, from the 3-time champ, we move on to a guy looking to go to his first American. PBR fans know him well. Keyshawn Whitehorse, former PBR Rookie of the Year, and he is aboard train station.
Yeah, talking to Melton earlier today, he said this is one of the bulls to watch for, he feels like.
Whitehorse looks off to the side. Oh, and train station finally sends him to the ground. Whitehorse off at 5.95.
You know, we always talk about ride each jump they take and don't worry about a direction so much. Some bulls you can get away with just riding the direction. This is the kind of bull right here at train station. Big, strong, some moves back and forth.
you have got to ride each jump for what it is.
With that bull, Justin, would you feel like he could feel Keyshawn on one side or the other, and he kept trying to adjust?
Yeah,
which way do I need to go to get him off?
That's exactly right. And these bulls, they're so smart to that off of feel. If they feel pressure over here, they're going to move away from it.
That cut line right now, number 6 spot is Kaique Pacheco, 86 on 1. Dalton Castle coming in 85.5 on 1. He has to ride to move on here.
Yeah, and look, Dalton Castle is one of these young, really exciting bull riders out there right now. And he's quickly turned into one of those guys that I don't ever, no matter what the draw sheet says, I don't ever say Castle's out of the fight, because he's got such great awareness on the back of a bull and such natural balance. And then he's got an attitude where he's not scared of anything.
Castle into his hand, letting that outside leg go just a bit. Stay center. You can't stop Castle on a Thursday night. Gets to the ground. Now it's all up to the judges from here.
And a great job by the bullfighters right there, because Castle got off in a terrible spot. Bullfighters did a really good job, but look, he's wanting to open up with that outside leg, but he can feel like he's a little bit stuck to the inside, so he holds, he waits, he's patient. And then you see this is just a terrible get off. Great ride, bad get off. Great job, bullfighters.
84.5 is that mark for Castle. Only 1 on 2, so that puts him the number 1 spot right now. From one young gun to another that's making waves, Mauricio Moreta looking for his first American Finals, and one that you've been so impressed by.
No doubt about it. I think this is a superstar on the rise right here.
Moreta makes moves right out of the gate, bit inside, and it finally takes him down. Assault weapon with the last say, down in 3.64.
Think about what we just seen out of Castle, being patient enough to wait. This one not going down to the inside.
So he would have thought, he knew that bull was probably going to go that way, and he was trying to beat him to it.
That's a bull these guys have seen a lot. Anticipation, man.
Speaking of anticipation, perhaps no one anticipates more what is coming inside AT&T Stadium than a guy who has been so successful in that building. Joao Ricardo Vieira, 2-time American champ, and has also been successful in that building on the PBR Tour as well. Things just go his way in these big money situations.
Well, I tell you what, the thing with Joao is when a bull goes to the left, that means things are going his way, because he's really, really good going that direction. The thing that has kept him from winning a world title yet is bulls going to the right. He really struggles, but one goes to the left, and like right here, left-hand delivery, pretty good shot. He's getting the whistle.
Joao aboard Stonewall, taking that extra rep. For such a veteran guy that's been in this position so many times, it shows just his calmness inside the chute here.
Yeah, he's been in big moments before. You're not going to see Joao panic about anything, but this one hopping and skipping around to the right. That's what we're talking about. If things don't fall out of there and go to the left, they get him set up and go to the right, and he really struggles, Luke.
Now, we've seen this bull kind of stumble in the front end. Would that be, if he goes down to a knee, would they consider that a re-ride?
Yeah, let's watch it again here. Just hop and skip. Yeah, I mean, that bull does hit his knees right there. I mean, I'd definitely ask if I'm Joao.
The judges not agreeing with that. It's going to be a no score for Vieira. His score on 1 is not high enough at 85.5. So the 2-time American champion, his journey to that 3rd championship ends right here. It's bull 8-11 for the 2018 PBR World Champ, Kaique Pacheco.
Yeah, look, we've got a big-time matchups right here. Stockyards Pro Rodeo Bull, 8-11. Talking to Corey Melton, he said this one can get exotic. He can do some special stuff. Well, guess what? Kaique Pacheco can do some special stuff as well. 2018 World Champion. He does a lot of things similar to legendary Jim Sharp. There's a few little things every now and then he gets a little hump in his back, and that keeps him, that's the only thing that keeps him from riding 100% of his bulls 100% of the time, because he's that good.
Now, is that something that he could work on? I mean, he's been going at it for a long time. What does he have to do to make that adjustment?
You just got to know that that's an adjustment that you need to make. And it's just a little thing. You know, it's little tweaks here and there with guys like Pacheco to go from one of the best to a guy, like I said, that never hits the ground.
If he's willing to listen, he might go high in a bull draft or something if he never came up.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Pacheco right now outside looking in, has to make the whistle. And he's not going to do it here. Comes down early, 3.53.
Yeah, just set down a little bit, gets to the inside, comes out too far.
Pacheco will have to wait until next year. But Cody Teal doesn't want to wait any longer to get back inside AT&T Stadium. A true veteran of the sport. Wait a minute, though. We're seeing a possible re-ride option for Pacheco. We'll confirm that one.
Good chance that bull hipped himself coming out. Right-hand delivery like that. You see one turn back to the left. Good chance hit himself.
So the judges making that confirmation there last minute. Pacheco will be coming back for Cody Teal. Ow. Takes a hard hit right there.
Yeah, and Teal, look, this guy's 6 foot plus, and when you see his upper body get back any little bit and out of time with the bull, it never goes good. And like there, he misses the front end. Total control from the bull at that point forward.
Well, for Teal, he was at 86 on 1. He's actually sitting in that number 6 spot right now. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. But for Chase Outlaw, it was fireworks just 2 nights ago inside Cowtown Coliseum. This is a ride none of us will forget.
No, and this is something that can't be learned, it can't be taught to a guy. You've either got that or you don't, and Chase Outlaw's got it.
What a magical moment for Chase Outlaw. Can he double up on that? Can he repeat that right here again? This time, his opportunity comes aboard Big R.
Well, and we know he's capable of big rides, and Stockyard Rodeo has put a great group of bulls together. I'm excited to see what can come from this ride right here.
Yeah. Hey, we talked about the rough stock, the power, turn it up. The guys got to match it. When they do, you see great scores.
Away from his hand, Big R stays at the spin. All the way to the pay window for Chase Outlaw. What about that one?
That's just fantastic riding right there. And look, this isn't a guy that's got some predetermined plan and some wizardry move that he's going to make on the back of a bull. You watch him, you watch his free arm. He's doing whatever it takes to stay in the middle of the bull. If he gets out of the middle, then he'll make a little move. But it's just tiny, tiny little movements right here because he's up, he's forward, he's with the bull, he's riding the bull for what he's doing. That's just flawless from Outlaw.
86 points, that puts Outlaw on top right here in the semifinals. What a ride.
Hey, this guy knows it too. He knows what he's fighting for. He's fighting for $2 million.
Hey, he said it right here on the broadcast. Wouldn't be a bad Sunday perf going for $2 million.
No, he knows what that can do for his life, for his family.
Yes. Well, Mason Taylor, 87 on 1, so he is sitting number 5 right now, but would feel a lot better about his chances to go ahead and make that requisite 8 once again, and he's got to do it aboard assault and battery.
Well, and Taylor, look, this young guy rides really good. Don't spend too much time in the chute. Here we go. Get up.
Taylor takes it to him away from his hand, a position he likes to be in.
Perfect.
And he takes advantage all the way to the whistle.
Great finish right here. Sets down a little bit right out of there and is kind of in no man's land around the first corner or two, but he doesn't stay there. Look, in bull riding, if it's not perfect one jump, you fight for that next one and you get it right the next jump. You don't give up, you don't stay back, and he doesn't. Loosens up with his outside leg, gets his upper body back where it needs to be. really, really great finish.
Take Taylor to the top with that one, 88 points. He is setting number 1. He is coming back tomorrow night. Laramie Mosley right now is coming back on 1 as well. 88 points on 1. That score alone is going to be good enough to get him back, but why not have a victory lap and do it again?
No doubt about it. And look, again, I go back to all the rough stock events, Luke. These are never where you're like, okay, I've already got it made, I can let up, or I've only got to be 62 points or whatever. No, when you crawl in that buck and shoot, you mean it. It's everything is put on the line right here, because make no mistake about it, this can get really, really serious in a bad way if you're not all in.
Well, and these bulls are all in. Every time you run them in, it doesn't matter. They're all in. They're going to give it their best. So if you're just halfway on their back, that's a good chance to not only get bucked off, but get hurt.
Yep, and I can promise you, Shakedown, he doesn't care that Mosley's already in and qualified and moving on. When that great gate cracks, he's going to do his job.
Mosley and Dinner Barbosa, the next 2 to go, they are safe. But don't forget, it's Kaika Pacheco waiting in the wings for that rewrite, so there still can be some movement on the leaderboard. But for Mosley, 26 years old, looking for that second American appearance. First time around in 2021 didn't go his way, so revenge definitely on the mind for Mosley.
Yeah, and Luke, this is a guy we were highlighting at the top of the show, started out talking about. Looked really, really good in round 1.
And it was an 88 for Mosley in round 1. No score here as he slammed to the ground aboard Shakedown. But that score is strong enough. So Mosley moving on, just not the way he wanted to. It would have been nice to have that momentum going in.
Yeah, and really strong bull, big jump, raises him up, he's got his head picked up, steps in his back too, steps right in the middle of that vest.
And a bit sore there too, so got not much time to recoup before he has to come back.
Yeah, he took a shot right there. That was for real.
And of course, barring any injuries, that could change. Our field coming back here too.
Kate.
Yeah. Oh. Stepped right on the back of that vest, but pushed that shoulder and arm into the ground there a bit as well. Well, it's Dinner Barbosa now as we move on. He's aboard Bottles Up. Another guy, Barbosa, 88.5 was the best score we saw in round number 1. That is going to get him on to that contender round tomorrow night, but why not encore here for Barbosa?
And look, Dinner Barbosa can ride any kind of bull, either direction. That's not important to him. And they're trying to get this bull's head straight. He's looking out the gate. What that's going to do is push his left shoulder against the back of the chutes here. But look, if you've already got your leg down, you've got what you need. He's looking, he's good, he's going to leave good. The more you mess with these bulls, the worse they can get.
Well, this bull's anticipating the gate opening right here too. Like you said, he's in position. Nod your head.
Absolutely.
And Barbosa doesn't make it happen on Bottles Up, but we'll see him as we move on to tomorrow. Where did this one go wrong so quick?
Well, a really good bull right here, strong out of there. Kind of gets him set down, he's back. You see his head come up. Look, even if things aren't perfect, when your head comes up, that's you saying, you know what, I don't think I can get there this next jump.
A guy who has to get there, Kaika Pacheco, his rewrite bull, shooter. Right now, Pacheco sitting number 7 with Teal at that number 6 spot. A ride here would solidify his position into the top.
Yeah, and for Pacheco, I think it's going to be really, really important not to get too clamped down here, Luke. He's such a strong guy. He works so hard to be in the best physical condition that he can. Sometimes he gets to clamping a little too much and using a little too much strength instead of riding with the bull.
Teal and Pacheco both have 86 points on 1. If he doesn't ride, the tiebreaker comes down to the longest out of the night. For Teal, he was a 2.32. Pacheco has to beat that to move on to tomorrow.
Yeah, and don't tell that to Pacheco because I want to see him ride for 8. Okay.
Yeah, I won't tell him.
Thank you.
I was just getting ready to run down and say something. But.
Unless he's got Pluto TV on in his ear right now. I think he's pretty focused on Shooter. This bull moving around to the chute for him a bit.
I can promise you this guy is focused. This bull move around, it ain't going to matter. You are not going to take Pacheco out of his game.
Shooter looking left. Michael left. Turns back right. Pacheco, he's moving on. But why not finish with the ride? Oh. Shooter doesn't finish strong, but Pacheco makes the whistle.
Yeah, and to me, this would be a low score with an option for a re-ride that Pacheco is going to turn down and move on.
You know, we talk about the re-ride options. A lot of times you don't see them take the re-ride option, and you wouldn't in this situation, would you?
No, not unless there's some round money up or points or something, you know, to ride for. If you've already made it, then no, I don't think when all you're trying to do is advance, you would take this at all. This bull quits kicking. Looks like his rope slides across his back. That just wasn't a very good finish for Pacheco or the bull. Correct what went wrong, move on, and get ready for the big bucks.
It's 71 points for Pacheco. Of course, he nods there saying, yep, I'm going to decline that because he's in that number 4 spot. He's already good. We'll see Pacheco tomorrow night. There are 4 guys that got it done, 2 for 2. Mason Taylor, Chase Outlaw, Dalton Castle, Ka'iki Pacheco, Dinner Barbosa, Laramie Mosley. They both make it in on 1. That is the cut. Big storyline here. Chase Outlaw getting it done with fireworks. He is standing by with Anthony Lucia.
Chase Outlaw, 86 points on Big R tonight. How good does it feel to finally be riding healthy and back to where we know you can be at this stage of this leg to the American?
I mean, this is a time to be hot now, and then, well, there's no time not to be hot, but to be riding full of confidence, healthy. I mean, this is why we do it. Man, we live a great life, and just thank the Lord that we're able to do this, and I'm just enjoying what I do. That's it.
It looks like you're having a blast, and when you can do what you do on multiple nights, and we talked before about the doubters and the hate that you've experienced through the injuries and everything, but there's some other motivation. You flashed me your buckle earlier. There's some more motivation that we don't get to see.
Yeah, you know, it's like I wear my Top Posbon Invitational buckle. I ride with it every time I ride, and you know, there's our buddies that ain't here to ride with us. Mason Lowe, Ty, you know, so good stick, Rick. All right. Yeah, so I mean, just prove people wrong. That's man, I like to do that, and man, like I said, I just love what I do, and when you enjoy loving what you do and have fun doing it, it's a great life, and I live a great life.
You do live a great life, and when we watch the celebration of all of your other fellow riders, your brothers, how important is it, and how much does it mean to you to know that whether they're competing against you or not, every single person who has a pair of spurs on and chaps is supporting Chase Outlaw?
Well, it's that camaraderie in the locker room. You know, we ain't putting our bull rope on each other. We're putting it on that beast out there. And when you see your buddies make a great bull ride, you don't want to win by being the only guy that stays on. I mean, you want everybody. You want to win when everybody's at their best. And when you see them make great bull rides, that fires you up. And to see that and to be around that, that's what fuels you. I mean, when your buddy's winning, y'all winning. Everybody's excited, and that energy's flowing. It ain't it's not like 2 negatives hitting against each other, or, you know what I mean? Yeah. But 2 positives, that's it.
Chase Outlaw's fire is burning bright. The support and everything that he has coming into this takes him one step closer to $2.1 million.
Outlaw loves what he does, and we love to see him do it. Such an appreciation for the sport, for his competitors. And as we wrap up the semifinals here, guys, your reactions to Outlaw and what we just saw there.
Well, that's Chase Outlaw. You know, what you see is what you get with that guy. He's one of the most sincere guys I've ever been around, and he's a true competitor. It doesn't get too tough for him. You know, I've seen him go through some just horrific wrecks that would end most guys' careers, and all it did to Outlaw was make him come back stronger and better, both mentally and physically.
An outlaw 2 for 2 at the semifinals, which is sending him to Friday night, and here he was.
Yeah, and this guy's just in a zone, Luke. You can see it. No wasted motion on the back of this bull.
Yeah, and we seen it the other night, too. That bull smacked him in the face, knocked his helmet up where he said he couldn't see, flips his helmet off when he gets done. This guy's in the rhythm, and I'm excited to see him tomorrow.
The competition heated up in a big way in the bull riding, but we saw it all night long. In some ways, they rose to the pressure. In others, a lot of barriers and bobbles got in the way.
Yeah, and we seen it tonight with Bridger Anderson. He came in first on the 2-head aggregate. He did not have a very good steer. They hadn't done much on him, but he did his job. He got the start and made the run, and we've seen that in the other events as well.
Bear Pasco, we wanted to see him come back. Maybe it was the training he got?
Yeah, it could have been. You know, one thing about Bear is he works at it like he's in the NFL still. He's in the gym. He's training. He's wanting to be the best. His goal, to make the national finals, win a gold buckle, and win the American.
And what's so great about this format, the American Rodeo, anyone and everyone from every walk of life could come here and compete. But there's only so many that make it on to that next step, and what a night it's going to be tomorrow. That $2 million dream continues for one elite group. 62 of rodeo's best moving on to that contender round where they face all of the invited athletes. From there, you got to be top 10 to get to AT&T Stadium. And to go for that $2 million, you've got to get to AT&T Stadium. But first, we'll be back here for one more night. So join us again tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, as the American Rodeo continues. For Justin McBride, Luke Branquino, Anthony Lucian, our entire crew, I'm Kate Harrison. Thanks for watching.